Picture this. You're reaching for a handful of raisins, thinking it's a wholesome, natural snack. After all, it's just fruit, right? Dried, convenient, and packed with flavor. But here's a jaw-dropping truth. A small handful of raisins can have as much sugar as a can of soda. Yes, you heard that right, up to 25 grams of sugar in just a quarter cup. For seniors, this isn't just a fun fact, it's a wake-up call. Could your daily dried fruit habit be silently pushing your blood sugar into risky territory, inching you closer to pre-diabetes without you even knowing? In the next 15 minutes, we're pulling back the curtain on dried fruit. From how it's made to what it does to your body, especially as we age. You'll discover why that healthy snack might not be as innocent as it seems. And, most importantly, 3 simple steps to enjoy dried fruit safely without spiking your blood sugar. Stick with us until the end, because the smallest changes can make the biggest difference for your health. Let's dive in. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is dried fruit, and why does it pack such a sugary punch? When fruit is dried, water is removed, leaving behind a concentrated version of everything else: flavor, nutrients, and yes, sugar. This process shrinks the fruit, making it easy to eat a lot more than you would if it were fresh. Take grapes versus raisins. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, 100 grams of fresh grapes, about a cup, contains roughly 15 grams of sugar. Not bad, right? Now, dry those grapes into raisins, and that same 100 grams skyrockets to over 60 grams of sugar. That's 4 times the sugar in the same weight. A quarter cup of raisins, which you might toss into your oatmeal, has about 25 grams of sugar, roughly the same as a 12-ounce can of cola. This isn't just about raisins. Dried mango, apricots, and dates follow the same pattern. The Harvard School of Public Health explains that drying fruit concentrates not just sugar, but also calories. A single dried apricot might seem harmless, but it's the sugar equivalent of eating 2 or 3 fresh ones. For seniors, who often watch their calorie intake, this can add up fast. Now, you might be thinking sugar from fruit is natural, so it's fine, right? Not quite. The concentration changes how your body processes it. Let's talk about the glycemic index, or GI, which measures how quickly a food raises your blood sugar. Fresh fruits like apples or berries often have a low to moderate GI, thanks to their water and fiber content, which slows digestion. Dried fruits, however, is a different story. The American Diabetes Association notes that while some dried fruits, like prunes, have a moderate GI, their high carbohydrate density can cause sharp blood sugar spikes, especially if you eat them quickly or in large amounts. Why? The fiber is still there, but it's less effective without the water to slow digestion. Plus, many dried fruits are eaten in a processed form. Think trail mix or granola bars, where the sugar hits your bloodstream even faster. For seniors, this is especially concerning. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at processing sugar. The National Institutes of Health explains that insulin sensitivity often declines after age 50, particularly if you're less active. This means your body struggles to clear sugar from your blood, leading to higher post-meal blood sugar levels. Eating a handful of dried mango, which can pack 30 grams of sugar, could send your blood sugar soaring, even if you don't have diabetes. Over time, these spikes can stress your pancreas and increase your risk of prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. But it gets trickier. Not all dried fruit is created equal. Many brands add extra sugar to make their products sweeter or more appealing. Check the label on dried mango or pineapple, and you might see cane sugar or glucose syrup listed. According to the Mayo Clinic, some dried fruits can have up to 50% added sugar by weight. That's not fruit anymore, it's candy in disguise. Even worse, some are coated in oil to keep them soft, adding unnecessary calories. Let's break it down with a real-world example. Imagine you're snacking on dried cranberries popular in salads or trail mixes. A half-cup serving might seem modest, but it can contain 40 grams of sugar, much of it added during processing. Compare that to fresh cranberries, which have just 4 grams of sugar per cup. The concentrated carbs and added sugars make dried cranberries a blood sugar bomb, especially if you're eating them on an empty stomach. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Dried fruit does have nutrients. Raisins are rich in iron, prunes are packed with fiber, and dates offer potassium. But the trade-off is steep. The nutrient density comes with a sugar overload that can outweigh the benefits, especially for seniors managing blood sugar, weight, or heart health. The Cleveland Clinic warns that overeating high-sugar foods, even natural ones, can contribute to inflammation and cardiovascular strain, to risks seniors already face. So, where does this leave us? Dried fruit isn't the villain, but it's not the hero either. The science is clear. It's concentrated sugars, high glycemic impact, and sneaky additives make it a risky choice if you're not careful, especially as we age. But here's the good news. You don't have to ditch dried fruit entirely. If you love sprinkling raisins on your cereal or snacking on dried apricots in the afternoon, there's a way to enjoy them without sending your blood sugar into overdrive. How? That's what we're diving into next. Now that we've uncovered the truth about dried fruit, let's talk solutions. You don't need to swear off your favorite snacks, just approach them smarter. Here's a simple 3-step framework to enjoy dried fruit safely. Tailored for seniors who want to keep their blood sugar in check. It's practical, it's doable, and it's backed by experts. Let's break it down. Step 1. Choose the right kind. No added sugars, no sneaky oils. Not all dried fruit is created equal, and the label is your best friend. Look for phrases like no added sugar, unsulfured, or no oil added. Sulfites and oils are often used to preserve color or texture, but they can add unnecessary chemicals or calories. The American Heart Association recommends sticking to pure, unprocessed options like naturally dried apricots, unsweetened blueberries, or whole dates. For example, whole dried figs or prunes without added sweeteners are great choices. They're naturally sweet, but less likely to have hidden sugars. Avoid anything that lists cane sugar, syrup, or vague terms like sweetener. Pro tip: if the fruit looks unnaturally shiny or feels sticky, it's probably been coated in something you don't need. Step 2. Portion it out. Stick to 30 grams or less per serving. Dried fruit is easy to overeat because it's so small and satisfying. But a little goes a long way. The American Diabetes Association suggests capping your serving at about 2 tablespoons, or roughly 30 grams. That's about 8 to 10 raisins, 2 to 3 dried apricots, or 1 large date. To make this easier, don't eat straight from the bag. Portion it out ahead of time into small containers, or pair it with protein or healthy fats to slow digestion. For instance, mix a few dried cranberries with a handful of walnuts, or add a couple of chopped dates to plain, unsweetened yogurt. This combo helps stabilize blood sugar and keeps you fuller longer. Step 3. Time it right. Avoid eating on an empty stomach. When you eat dried fruit matters as much as how much you eat. Eating it alone, especially when you're hungry, can cause a rapid blood sugar spike. Instead, enjoy dried fruit as part of a balanced meal or after eating something substantial. The Mayo Clinic suggests pairing it with fiber-rich foods to blunt the sugar impact. Try this. Sprinkle a few chopped prunes over oatmeal with chia seeds, or blend a couple of dried apricots into a smoothie with spinach and almond butter. These combinations slow the absorption of sugar, making it easier for your body to handle. And always eat dried fruit after a meal, not as a standalone snack, to keep your blood sugar steady. This 3-step framework: choose wisely, portion carefully, And time it right is your roadmap to enjoying dried fruit without the risks. It's not about deprivation. It's about balance. But why does this matter so much, especially for seniors? Let's explore the bigger picture next. Let's be clear, dried fruit isn't the enemy. It's been a staple for centuries, offering convenience and nutrients in a tiny package. Many seniors turn to prunes for digestion, dates for energy, or raisins for a quick iron boost. But here's the catch. How we use dried fruit makes all the difference, especially as we age. The truth is, the concentrated sugars in dried fruit can quietly wreak havoc if you're not mindful. For seniors, the stakes are higher. The National Institute on Aging warns that persistent blood sugar spikes can lead to weight gain, higher HbA1c levels, and even long-term complications like heart disease or nerve damage. If you're eating a handful of dried mango every afternoon, thinking it's a healthy choice, you might be unknowingly setting yourself up for trouble. But this isn't about fear, it's about empowerment. You don't need to ban dried fruit from your pantry. Instead, understand its impact and take control. The science tells us that small, informed choices, like reading labels, measuring portions, and pairing with protein, can transform a risky snack into a safe one. Consider this. Many seniors rely on dried fruit for its benefits, like fiber or antioxidants. That's great. But without moderation, those benefits come at a cost. The Cleveland Clinic points out that excess sugar, even from natural sources, can fuel inflammation, which is already a concern for aging bodies. Over time, this can strain your heart, blood vessels, and even your joints. Here's our take. Caring for your health is a marathon, not a sprint. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Knowing how dried fruit affects your body gives you the power to make choices that support your long-term well-being. You can still enjoy that occasional handful of raisins or a dried apricot in your smoothie. Just do it with intention. This is especially important for seniors who deserve to live vibrantly without worrying about hidden health traps. By making small tweaks, you're not just managing your blood sugar, you're investing in more energy, better mobility, and more time with the people you love. Let's wrap this up with a final thought. We eat not just to fuel our bodies, but to live well, to share meals with family, to chase grandkids around the park, to feel strong and vibrant in our golden years. Dried fruit can absolutely be part of that journey, as long as you know how to use it wisely. The truth is, a small change like checking labels, cutting your portion in half, or eating a little slower can make a massive difference for your heart, your blood sugar, and your overall health. These aren't just tips, they're tools to help you thrive. If this video opened your eyes to the hidden sugars in dried fruit, share it with someone you care about. Maybe a friend who loves their daily dose of raisins, or a family member who stocks up on dried mango. Knowledge is power, and together we can make smarter choices. Don't miss our next video, where we'll uncover a so-called healthy fruit product sneaking onto supermarket shelves, one that could quietly harm your liver, kidneys, and nervous system. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss it. Thank you for watching. Your health is worth every moment you invest in it, and we're honored to be part of your journey. Stay well, stay informed, and we'll see you next time.